In this video, I'm going to show you some different ways you can watch live television. Now, I always prefer to watch everything on demand, and to me, it doesn't make sense to watch live TV because when you watch things live, you don't know which time zone the channel you pull up might be from, and you also have to deal with the commercials. So, unless I'm watching a live pay-per-view or a sporting event, I watch everything on demand. Anything you could ever want to watch on any channel or network is always available on demand, whereas when you're watching the channel live, you really don't know what's on it because there's not really a TV guide function. Okay, I really don't like to use this shortcut section here because there's only 5 add-ons that are displayed, and these are not really the ones I like to use, with the exception of this i4A TV and the C Cloud. I use those. But since a lot of the things I use aren't here, I'm going to go to this main add-on section, which is the only way you could get to a lot of add-ons that are on your device. And it brought me to the bottom of the page, so I'm going to arrow down and it brings me back to the top. Now this one that you see scrolling, that's a good one for live TV, but I really don't use it that much. I prefer this i4A TV, which is one of the shortcuts that you saw on the other screen. Once you open it, you're at the top of the page, so I arrow up. It brings me down to the bottom of the list, which is where I want to be. This live i4A TV link is the one I want unless I'm watching a pay-per-view or live sports. Now, even though it says live sports, you can also watch live sports on some of the sport channels that you'll see in the live section. So I'm going to open this up. It brings me back to what looks like the page that I was just on, but if you arrow down or arrow up from the very top, it'll bring you to this category list. And you see they have the sports section here, which it brings up different sporting channels. Now, what you don't get on this list is pay-per-views, but you get all of these other sport channels. Well, I guess I'll select something so you'll see how you launch a channel. You just select it and wait on it to load. That's what I was waiting for. Now, if you look at the top left, you'll see where it says authorization error. Now, sometimes that happens because your internet is having issues. If it's too slow, then the device can't communicate with the server and launch the stream. A second reason that could happen is that the server itself, where the data is being retrieved from, is overwhelmed by a lot of visitors or a lot of traffic, and the stick can't communicate. So in some cases you might have to keep selecting it until it launches. As you can see this time when I selected it, it didn't give me that error. There have been some cases where I had to try channel 5 or 6 times So please keep that in mind when you see that error. I'm going to go to all just so I don't have to go through the different categories, but the all channel list is extremely long. I just started at the bottom of the list, but if you look at the cursor right here, you'll see how much space there is, and that's an indication of how large the channel list is. Now, for some people that are in areas like Miami and New York, for them, they'll have local channels, but for everybody else, you don't get access to any local channels. And it got that error again, so I'm going to select the channel again. And as you can see now, it launches. I'm going to get out of this all list because it's way too big. But before doing that, I'm going to scroll just to give you an idea of how many channels that's here. I mean, they go through different countries, and then once you get to the English-speaking channels, you get all the premium cable networks. This is just to give you an idea of how big that channel list is. As you can see, they have some Oprah Winfrey Network that a lot of people ask about. Other premium channels from the U.S.
Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free. I've got to update my ink.
If you look in the lower right corner, you'll see that working sign and the circle spinning. That's an indication that it's trying to communicate with the server, and it has connected, and now it's working to try to pull the stream. If it keeps doing that, sometimes you might have to select the channel maybe even 5 or 6 times, and sometimes I just get tired of waiting and I'll move on. And remember, if there's a specific show that you're trying to watch on the Oprah Winfrey Network, you could just go look it up and watch it on demand without having to deal with these issues. And I'm going to escape because I don't want to wait on that anymore. I actually went back too far.
Join today. Biggest takeaway as we look forward to the postseason. Cool. I guess I'm going to go to that.
And I'm just trying to go here to some of these premium channels just so you can see that you get a lot of these channels that are rather expensive on cable and satellite. And this is another one that's taken a long time to stream, so rather than try to launch it over and over again, I'm probably just gonna move on to another channel so I don't have to keep waiting. Or if I really wanted to watch this channel badly, I would just go to another app that has it. That's the good thing about this device, is that there's alternative add-ons you could use. If one is moving slow or not working properly, you could move to another one. Whereas if you're dealing with cable or satellite, if that goes down, then you're out of luck. So I tend to think of, you could think of these, each add-on, as almost like having a different or multiple cable providers or satellite providers. Internet is moving really slow this morning. And again, if your internet's having issues, a lot of stuff might not play at all, because the device has to be able to communicate with the server and pull up the stream.
Well, did you enjoy your time away from responsibility?
I should.
And I got the error again, so gotta select the link again and wait on it to load. Oops. As you can see, I hit the fast forward button by mistake instead of the stop button, so it's going forward. And the reason it's able to fast forward on a live stream is because it's actually a delay, because it buffers first. It fills up a buffer before it actually starts streaming. So that's why it's able to fast forward a few seconds.
And will even fast-track your order with a free upgrade to...
Okay, let me get back to that category list so that... Now, this cinema section is not movie theater. That refers to channels that show movies. Now, at the bottom of the list is all the Spanish-speaking channels, so I'll have to go up to get to the USA speaking channels. Okay. Now, these Sky channels are some of the best available. You can't get these in America. These are all UK channels that broadcast US programming. They have movies that you would see on like US channels like Showtime or HBO or Cinemax. And as you can see, there's a lot of the premium channels. You'll notice some of them say East and West. That refers to East Coast and West Coast. Now, these Action Max and Thriller Max channels are part of Cinemax. You can see there's so many HBOs on here and other channels that you never get on traditional cable. And I'm going to select them so that you can see they work. And it's not just a list.
Every 2 seconds, and knowing there's a problem isn't enough. FlightBlock helps monitor your identity.
You can see it's nothing fishy going on.
David, can you stop with a stick or eel for 15 minutes in front of your teeth and answer the food?
So he's speaking English, and they have English subtitles, as if Americans can't understand UK English.
Actually, we checked out the desk.
There's actually about 600 channels in this one add-on, so you could spend all day fooling with it and going to different channels. Again, that was this I4ATV app. This next one, the Zeta TV, which is right next to the I4ATV, is a good one for Spanish-speaking channels. And they have different links that bring up different channel lists. The first one is the one I always go to. And a lot of these are strictly Spanish speaking. A lot of them are Spanish speaking channels, but some of them are English movies that will have Spanish subtitles. And some of these already have check marks by them, and you'll see like a time next to the check mark. That's just an indication that the channel has been watched already, and it'll show you how long you watched it. It's like that because I was making a previous video, and those are the channels that I opened up. But they have some really good channels here if you speak Spanish or understand Spanish. I understand a little, so I don't really come here unless I'm trying to learn a little more Spanish.
Vale, aplanen el abdomen y esconden los gorditos. Así eliminan la fatiga.
You can see they have a lot of premium channels here as well. A lot of children channels. And again, if you try these other links, you'll get different lists of channels. And this just gives you an idea of what's available. I'm not going to sit here and go through all these because this video is getting a little too long. I just want you to get an idea of what's available and what you could do with your device. Now, this one I was just in, this Zeta TV, this Chicago team, and Adrian list are all for Spanish-speaking people. Another one I like to use is one called Israel Live. I like it because it has a TV guide integrated with each channel. These are the various categories they have here. I'm going to open up the entertainment section. There's a lot of UK channels, but there's also a lot of American programming on those channels. Here's an American show called Axeman. And as you select something, you see how it's scrolling. It tells you what's currently on, and then it tells you what comes on next. And if you look to the right, you see this box which has a description of what's currently on that channel. And when you select it, it'll open the stream.
1234 to give a vital £2 a month so the Salvation Army can go on helping the UK's...
Now, you have to keep in mind it's UK, so you'll see a lot of UK commercials. Even though it's an American show on that channel.
Save all the way into 2017 with the 100% off broadband sale. Get totally unlimited free.
I guess everything's on a commercial, which is another reason I don't like watching live television.
Very lucky to have gained this insight into the making of the show. Turns out it's both complicated and fun in roughly equal measure. But I think I'll leave the final word on the last 100 episodes to the cast.
What do you tune in for every week? It's not the story in the sense of what...
Your insecurity issues with your trust issues, but it always happens.
Jerry Springer show.
When I get ready to go out.
That understanding of what...
Had no idea they still show Jerry Springer.
Criminologist Donald McIntyre sheds new light on some of the most shocking cold cases.
How is it possible that there are no witnesses? Where do we go from...
Jeez, everything is on commercial. Well, I was trying to show you that they do in fact have U.S. television shows on a lot of these channels, but apparently everything's on commercial. Now, if you know about Daystar, you know that's a religious network.
In front of the Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall. And I've got the names of approximately 50,000 families who pledged in the...
There's also TBN, which is another Christian network, as well as CBN and these others here, Angel TV. But that's just this one category of entertainment. You also have these others here, the movies, the kids. As you can see here, there's some kid programming. And you have your news and movies and sports. Let's see, some other add-ons you can use for live TV. Let me start at the top of the list. Let's see, this one here, and I've already shown you the i4A TV and Zeta. Let's see, this BBTS is a good one. C Cloud TV, Channel Pair, that's a really good one, as well as this Dexter TV. Entertainment Hub has live TV along with movies and other links for all kinds of entertainment. NaviX, as well as Money Sports, which is good if you're looking for live sports. And let's see, this Operation RoboCop Ultimate has some excellent live TV streams, as well as Phoenix. If you open up Phoenix and go on the Woody, you'll see they have a live TV section. And Sports Devil, even though it's mainly aimed towards sports, live sports and pay-per-views, there's also links to live television channels. And I haven't really messed with this Stalker TV, but I know a lot of people that use it, and that use it for live television channels. And they're pretty much all the same in the way they function.
It's living here like that. What don't you understand about punishment for what he did in our world? You please forget.
You open it up and you're presented with a list of channels, and select the channel you want to watch.
Why you're here tonight? Well, I guess it's about the shooting of TK.
So this one appears to have some good channels as well. So now you have an idea of some different ways you could access live TV. And remember, I got to that section by going to this add-on page and selecting it. And once here, I just went to the individual apps. Sometimes I call them apps, sometimes I call them add-on. That's the same thing. Now remember, there's this live TV section here, but it's limited in regards to all the things that you can access from here. So I always go to the add-on section. And I left off some things like the UK Turks playlist, which also has live TV, and there's some other apps, but the ones I've shown you they will give you a good starting point